Hello guys, so here's the solution to the first task. Um, so we can break it down by using the four stages, where the first one is to understand, second is to come up with the plan, third is to carry out the plan, and the last one is to go back and check. So we do that essentially because we want to have a better understanding of the problem, and then we need a plan and a structure in order to solve it. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and look at part A and look at part B. And we're not going to be doing the four stages. And that four stages is for you to do it independently. So let's begin. Suppose AB is the diameter of a circle and C is a point on the circle. And C is different from A and B as in the picture below. So they're saying that this line is the diameter. This is the diameter. And then we have point A, B, and C, and these points are on the circle. Now, part A, we have to show that triangle COB and COA are both isosceles triangles. Now, you need to know what is an isosceles triangle. So let me quickly explain that. So if we have a triangle that like this, an isosceles triangle will have two legs congruent. So this side is going to be congruent to this side. If this is congruent to this, then this base angles are congruent. This angle is going to be congruent to this one if this is the base. So an isosceles have two legs are congruent. Okay. So here if we can show that for CO, let's take a look at COB first. So COB. So we have to start at point C and then O and then B. So we're looking at a triangle that connects these 3 points, C, O, and B. Now, in order to show that this is an isosceles triangle, we have to show that two sides are congruent. Okay? Now, by looking at this, by looking at COB, we could see that this side OB is a radius. How do we know it's a radius? Because it started at the center O, and then the distance from the O to point B that is on the circle. That's a radius. So OB is radius. Okay, and then we also see that OC is also a radius. So they're both radius. Again, OC is radius because it started this distance from the center O to the circle C, to this point on the circle C. Now, if they're both radius, and we know the radius is going to be equal, so we can say that OB is equal to OC. So this side is congruent to this side. Then this angle is going to be congruent to this angle. Okay, so we already know that OB is congruent to OC. Therefore, we can say that triangle COB is isosceles. That's it. That's how we show that COB is isosceles. All right. So if you need to write it down, go ahead. You can pause, and then let's move to COA right now. So for COA, let's draw COA first. We have C, O, and A. So I have to connect these 3 points to get the triangle COA. There we go. Now, for COA, we know that this is the radius. OC is radius. Okay, again, it's the same distance from the center O to a point C on the circle. And then OA is also radius. OA is radius. OA is also the distance from the center O to a point A on the circle. Now we know the radius are congruent, so we can say OA is equal to OC. Therefore, triangle COA is isosceles. Alright, so we said that this side is congruent to this side. So this angle is congruent to this one if this is the base. Therefore, this must be an isosceles triangle. That's it. So this is how we show that COB and COA are both isosceles. You guys can pause, write it down. I'll move to part B right now. So I'm going to get some space. All right, part B. They're asking you to use part A and the fact that the sum of the angles in the triangle ABC is 180 degree to show that C is a right triangle. So we need to show that this is going to be 90 degrees. Okay, if this is a right triangle, this is 90 degrees. Okay, and we need to use what we know in part A. In part A, we know that COE. From part A, we know that triangle COB and triangle COA are isosceles. So they have two sides are equal and two angles are equal. So here's an isosceles triangle. Then this side is congruent to this side. Then this angle is going to be congruent to this angle. All right. So let's start by analyzing this information. Now there are a few different ways we can prove this. So let's just go ahead and choose one of the way. We can show that C is 90 degrees, C is a right angle, by actually showing that sum of A and B is 90. So the way we do it, first we use COB. So I'm going to draw my COB. So let's draw COB. COB. Now we know that from part A, COB is isosceles. So this is congruent to this. Alright? So this side is congruent to this side. This angle is congruent to this angle. So let's say we call this X. So if this is X, this is also X. Alright? If this is X, that's also X because these are congruent. Now, we're going to use COA, triangle COA. So we have to choose CO and A. So if we're using this triangle and we know that this triangle is also isosceles, that tells you that this angle is congruent to this angle. Okay, so let's call this Y. If this is Y, this is also Y. Agree? Now we know that the sum of angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. So we're using the fact that sum of interior angle of a triangle is 180 degrees. So if we add all these, we should get 180 degrees. So we can say X plus X plus Y equals to 180. And then we would have 2x plus 2y equals to 180 degree. Correct? Now what we can do, we can factor out 2. If we do that, we will have x plus y equals to 180 degree. Now notice how we can solve for x and y by using just this equation. But we can, if we divide this side by 2 and that side by 2, we can have x plus y is equals to 180 divided by 2, that's 90. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So x plus y gives you 90. So we're saying that if we take x, which is this one, and if we take y, which is this one, if we add these two, that's 90. Or we can say that if we take x, which is this one, and then y, which is this one, if we add them up, that should also give you 90. Now, angle C, right up here, angle C, measure of angle C is nothing but x, which is this portion, plus y, which is this portion. And that's how you get the entire angle C. Whole thing. Whole thing is the combination of x and y. So we have C equals to x plus y. And then we know x plus y is nothing but 90. So C is equals to 90. Okay? So that's how we prove that angle C is equals to 90. And if angle C is 90, our conclusion is that C is a right angle. Alright, thank you guys.